So what you can see is really in the color. So here, this one is now the Gyokuro, and the Gyokuro shows a beautiful green, green jade colors. Is also called the jade dew. Is also another word for Gyokuro. Meanwhile, here you have the Bancha, and you can see that these two teas are really different. Here we got a lot of minerals, so you see there's a little bit also what is nice, or what can be nicely seen by this tea, is there a lot of essential oils covering now the top of the tea water. This is very nice. So good tea, or good quality tea, even though this is a lower quality tea Bancha from the leaf, it's still high quality compared to other teas you can buy in tea bags. And you can really see here there's a small covering of essential oils. It is much more yellow than this one, so it goes more in the yellowish, coming from the darker leaves, from the stems, and also the minerals in the tea. Here what you can see is that the Gyokuro is slightly cloudy. It is much greener, and also it changed a little bit of the color. What you can see that here the green color, so the chlorophyll, the theanine is strong, is strong in the taste, like in the color of this tea predominant, while you have much less the yellowish color coming from the tea stems, which are in this tea here in the Bancha. So this is the main difference, what you can see color-wise. Now let's go into the tasting. So we are going now into tasting of the Bancha and the Gyokuro. So let's try to compare these two teas. So I first take a sip of the Bancha. Here you directly get the wooden note, the wooden flavor of the tea. You got a lot of tree bark, you got a lot of wooden taste in this tea. And there's a little bit of nearly a small kind of savory cereal note as well to this tea. So here we are really in the kind of a little bit the darker, lower notes, not like the fresh notes. Here really kind of, I always feel like a little bit I drink a foresty tea. And now let's go to the other one. Let's have the Gyokuro. And it's amazing. The sweetness of this tea is just amazing. So I really feel like a very beautiful. It's even when you have a little bit of, when you ever ate dates, a little bit on the top of the tongue, you get a little bit these creamy notes also coming from cashew nuts. When you eat cashew nuts, you also got this light sweetness, this smooth sweetness, creamy sweetness, what you have. And here, this is really dominant in the first sip of this tea. Let's have a second one. I would say there's like there's a little bit of a sweet corn taste, but very slight, mixed with like young spinach. So you got a little bit of this more vegetable taste, but it is very mixed with a strong sweetness. So here, this tea definitely a very sweet, young, fresh, not too fresh, but like very young flavor, like a smoothness, sweetness of corn, but not too much. And there's a lot of taste of young spinach coming out of this. And now, as I go further down in the cup as well, a little bit got this brothiness, so a little bit of this taste of kind of a little bit of this marine note. There's a little bit of this more savory taste coming out. So very interesting also, the more you go down in the cup, and you might see it here. I just show you. So you see that this tea got some sediments at the at the bottom. So this is giving apparently more of this brothy taste as well. And let's go back now to the Bancha. So also here, so there's a huge difference. Here you got a lot of sweetness. Gyokuro is really having an enormous sweetness to it, with some fresh young spinach, very slight notes, but predominantly is the sweetness coming now a little bit more into a brothy taste. Definitely, it's a little bit more brothy. There's a little acidity now swinging a little bit with the tea now at the bottom. So very interesting. I think this tea, when you pour it in the cup, you drink it. When you drink it directly, you got a little bit more the mixed. As I let it set a little bit in this session here. As I let it set in this session here, I got two different tastes. So pretty interesting how tea changes, like taking one sip after the other. And here, still, though this tea is really the same taste all over the cup. And also the last one is pretty similar. So this is a really wooden taste. It stays the same. Meanwhile, this changes from sweetness to a little bit more of a brothy taste, of a savory taste when you're going down in the cup. Pretty interesting. So I hope you like this session here, guiding you through the whole, from the tea leaf explanation of the tea leaf, seeing the color of the tea and the difference in color, and then going into the tasting. So I wish you guys all the best. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye.